the game Codenames online. I found this game in particular to be one of the easiest games to learn and just join without any experience or prior knowledge of the game. It's also one of the easiest to organize, and it also is one of the easiest games to learn a new language with, even if you're an absolute beginner. So it's a really nice democratizing game. So let's take a look at how this works. So um, basically, all you have to do is go to codenames.game. And this is a classic board game. I've been playing it for some years now, and they finally just launched a free online platform to play the game with, which is so awesome and generous of them. And it's a beautiful um, interface. So you just click create game, you choose the language you want the interface to be in. I usually just choose English, of course, and then you create a room. Now, sometimes it does have a little bit of a glitchiness. I actually haven't really experienced that too much before, but basically, you're going to choose which language you want to play in. So we have here, we have Spanish, of course, we have English. Um, and if you do English, for example, you can choose a couple of different options of packs. Usually you just want to go with the top two. Spanish is nice because you can choose specific colloquial language and make sure some or a lot of those appear. That's an option. Navidad as well. Um, I love this. There's Russian, there's Chinese. There are a lot of options. So this is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Chinese one, and we will start the game. Now, it gives you a unique URL. It already gave me this when I first created the game. All you have to do is copy this and just share it with people in Discord or wherever you're organizing the game. And this is what it's going to look like for the Chinese version. I went ahead and set up a game already um, for Spanish. And this is what it's going to look like as Sherry's view as an operative. So basically, you need two teams. For this game, usually you want to play with at least four people, but you can play with a minimum of two. So if I go back to here, if I reset the game, I can choose whether I'm going to play team versus team, 4+ players, or cooperative, 2+ players. The cooperative version looks like this, but most of the time we play with the team versus team version with 4+ players. It's pretty fun that way. So if you play that version, you need at minimum 4 players. You need one spy master on each team, but you can have as many operatives as you want. So you can play with 20 people. And if you play with 20 people, you're going to have one spy master who's red, one blue spy master, and you're going to have 9 blue operatives and 9 red operatives ideally. I mean, the teams don't have to be perfectly balanced, but that's generally how it works. And this is Sherry's view. She's just going to see a bunch of cards with different words on them. And this is all that she sees as an operative. But as my view as a spy master, this is what I see. So this is all randomized at the beginning of the game, but it stays the same throughout the rest of the game. There's, you'll notice there are red cards that belong to my team. There's 9 of them. There's 8 blue cards that belong to the blue team. And then there's a bunch of neutral cards that are tan, and there's 1 black card. So what I want to do is I want to get Sherry to guess as many of the red cards as possible while guessing none of the other cards. The most important thing to do as a spy master is never give a clue that has anything to do with the black card, because if the black card is chosen by Sherry or the other operatives, then we immediately lose. Um, so let's see. So let's take a look at some of these. Well, we got aguacate, princesa, pradera, chile, vestido, cacao. Well, okay, so vestido, Catrina, and princesa, I think those all tend to be quite female focused, and I do not see, well, certainly sombrero has nothing to do with female. Um, I think that's a fair bet. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's do hembra. Uh, and 3. So hembra for 3. So I'm giving Sherry the clue hembra for 3. And I guess it's, oh, it should be, maybe it didn't go through. Let's try again. I think I'm having some connection issues. There it goes. And then this is what Sherry's going to see. And Sherry might be like, oh, well, borde, that sounds very feminine. So she's just indicating, by clicking the card, she's just indicating that she thinks that's a good idea. But if you actually click this, that means that your team has guessed. So usually you want to just click a couple of options, okay, and then discuss together as a team. Maybe for some reason she's thinking about Judge Judy and wants to click Nuez. So you can click as many as you want. And then somebody on the team just decides, you know what, Princesa is a good option. Let's do that. And selects that one. And then that's the guess. Oh, it was correct. Great. Okay, let's try vestido. Was that correct? We get 3 guesses. We can pass whenever we want if we think it's too hard. Because if we guess a blue card, we're giving a point to the other team. Of course, if we guess a black card, that we lose immediately. So you can always end the guessing early and pass. In this case, and if I were to have guessed a neutral card or a blue card as the first guess, immediately it goes to the other team. So obviously blue is bad because we both lose the turn and we give them a point. Neutral is bad. We don't lose any points to the other team. The other team doesn't get any points, but we do lose the turn. So if that was your first guess, was a neutral card, you can't guess anymore because you guessed incorrect. But as long as you keep guessing correctly, you can keep guessing up to the number given by the spy master. So now if she guess, the next guess is then borde. Let's see what happens. We lost a point. Okay, now it's going to be blue's turn. Oh, where did I go? I had one over here. So the blue spy master might give a different clue. Now I'm just going to say drink, bebida. Okay. You could, of course, if you want to practice in Spanglish, you could say, let's have the guesses will be in English, and the clues will be in English, but of course, the cards themselves will be in Spanish. Now you can, just so you know, these are little known tips, but you can do unlimited, and then that means they can guess as many times as they want. That makes it actually harder generally for the guessers because they don't know when to stop. So you want to be careful with that one. And then you can actually also guess 0, which is to say that none of the blue cards have anything to do with drinks. Okay, so that's another option. But a lot of people just do 1 or 2, but you really want to try to give as high a number as possible as long as you're not misleading your teammates into guessing for the enemy team or for the black or for neutral. So you want to be a little bit careful. That really is it. That's all there is to the game. Of course, this word apapacho is I think that means to pamper or like a pampering. Chamaco, I think that's some sort of shirt. I don't know what a molcajete is. So, it's a good opportunity to be like, hey guys, what's a molcajete? And you can discuss. You could maybe make it even more of a language exchange and say, "How everybody use molcajete in a sentence." You can do a lot of things like that to try to practice and make sure that it's an even better language learning experience. Um, so that's pretty much how to play. Um, and you can play in any language. So that's one of the things I hope that we start to do on our server is to have this game being played in a lot of different languages. But I want to show you another tool, which is this website called horsepaste.com. It's kind of funny. This is a brand new um, game that has been just launched by the original publisher online just a few months ago, or maybe even last month. It's very, very new. But before it was launched, there were some knockoffs on the internet that came up, and the most famous one I think is horsepace.com. And this one is actually still going to be useful. It's not nearly as beautiful or as smooth of a user interface, but it is very useful. I'll tell you why. Reason number 1 is you can do English and Spanish at the same time. So let's go. Boom. We have Francia. That's Spanish. Cuerda. That's Spanish. But spy and missile are English. So you can mix them that way. So that's a great way to do a language exchange event. Another way you can do it is you can do your own custom words, which of course is very useful. if you want to teach some words or you want to create a special, maybe a beginner-focused vocabulary deck. So I've gone ahead and done that. We have some pretty easy words here in both English and Spanish. Now, you have to, first of all, you want to uncheck this one, and then you want to go and do something like this. But this is actually, it only recognizing the first word because it actually has to be comma separated. So let's go ahead and comma separate those with some magic there. Oh, well, I'm using Sublime Text. You can do a command for that. And then let's put them in there. Now it recognizes the 26 words. Watch what happens if I try to do it 24 words. It's going to say, no, you need at least 25. So I can add in English to get 424, but then these are going to be unlikely to show. So you really want to do the full 25 words, and no, none of these should be selected. You can add a timer if you want, but let's go ahead and go and see what that looks like. And boom, we have our words. Notice that I have anti-disestablishmentarianism, which at one point was the longest word in the English language. That doesn't format very well. So let's just try that again. And let's just remove that ridiculously long and meaningless word and go. And now we have a nice, oh, you know what? The problem is that I reused the link. We have to do a refresh and try one more time. Okay, there we go. So we've got a nice list of custom words. So especially this is very useful for teachers who might want to teach a specific vocabulary topic or for beginner vocabulary, because sometimes with code names here, the words are more advanced. Just to be aware, let me make you aware that some of the more advanced words in this pack here are advanced because they are coming from Mexican Spanish. So they're very colloquial words. Words like molcajete, I think, is a very Mexican word. So you can just focus on the base Spanish pack, but you will notice that a lot of words are more advanced. There are a lot of upper intermediate and advanced words in the packs. So they're not always super useful words for beginners or lower intermediate students. So that's why it's definitely useful to be aware of this. You can just copy and paste word lists from online, even if they're words that you don't know. But if you want to like look up, intermediate Spanish word list or beginner Spanish word list, you could always do something like that as well. And this is how it looks for the Spy Master. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching yet another video on how to organize some sweet events for language exchange in Discord. Of course, we usually are going to be in a Discord channel while we're playing so we can talk and hear each other while we're playing. That's the last piece of the puzzle, but some of my other videos explain that. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.